My name is Elias Hawthorne, and at 87, I've got stories enough to fill the pews of Willowbrook's little church and then some. This town, population 4,832, is a patchwork of apple orchards, creaky porches, and folks who know your heart before you speak it. I live in a blue Victorian on Elm Street, built by my grandfather Silas in 1892. It's paint-chipped but proud, with a garden out back, tomatoes and rosemary, now dormant for winter, that keeps my gnarled hands grounded. These days I narrate tales from my YouTube channel, Tales from the Rocking Chair, sipping black coffee, no sugar, and sharing lessons from a life of love, loss, and surprises that hit like a frost in October. This story's about my cousin Walter and an autumn in 2025 that shook our family like a wind through the Green Mountains. It's called My Cousin Demanded My Family's Heirloom Clock for His Business, so I hid it in the church instead. Settle in, folks. It's a long haul, like a harvest moon night in Vermont. Willowbrook in October 2025 is a sight to warm an old man's bones. Golden leaves drifting like embers, the air crisp with cider and wood smoke, the Green Mountains catching the last light of day. My Victorian home on Elm Street creaks with every step, its wraparound porch my evening haven, where I rock in a chair older than most of you, watching stars peek through the pines. The garden's quiet now, its rows of tomatoes and zucchini harvested, but I still wander it, arthritis nagging my knees, whispering to the plants like my late wife Martha taught me. My days revolve around the 1905 grandfather clock in my parlor, a towering oak piece with a brass pendulum, its deep chimes marking time like a heartbeat. It's been in the family since my father, Amos, bought it in 1930 for his bride. Mornings I brew coffee in a pot from '52, polish the clock's wood and listen to its ticks. Evenings I tinker, fixing its gears, a skill from my days at Hawthorne's Electronics. Evenings I record stories by the fireplace, my voice gravelly but steady, for folks who find comfort in an old man's tales. The town's my family, too. Mrs. Jenkins brings pies. Timmy, the postman, lingers for war stories. And Pastor Emily at the church shares coffee and kindness. But nights are lonely, the house echoing since Martha's passing in 2005. The clock, with her polishing cloth tucked in its case, keeps her close. Walter, my cousin, is 70, the son of Amos's brother, Henry. We grew up like brothers in Willowbrook, racing through fields, sneaking apples, Walter always eyeing the grandfather clock with boyish awe. "Elias, it's like magic," he'd say, watching its pendulum swing. He became an auctioneer, his voice booming at estate sales, retiring in 2020 to Burlington. Now in 2025, he's starting a new antique business, ambitious but strained. His wife Helen and son Peter, 40, are distant, caught in city life. Walter's calls were once warm, full of memories, but lately they're clipped, asking about the clock's value, $50,000, a rare piece. I loved him like kin, hoped he'd honor its history, my 2015 will considering him or Peter as heirs. But his texts, "Elias, that clock's a gold mine," sting like a splinter, hinting at greed, not family. Amos bought the clock in 1930, a wedding gift for his bride, its oak case carved with vines, its brass pendulum gleaming. It stood in their parlor, then mine after I took over in '55 post-Korea. Martha loved its chimes, setting family dinners by its rhythm, polishing it until it shone. Our kids, Robert, Sarah, Laura, grew up to its ticks. Robert once hiding marbles in its base. Its value's $50,000 now, rare craftsmanship, Historical appeal. Collectors circling like hawks. I refused their offers, honoring Martha's deathbed wish. Keep it family, Elias. The deed of ownership, a formality for heirlooms, sits in my safe under the parlor floorboards, a promise I thought Walter understood. Mid-October brought Walter to Willowbrook, his sedan parked by my home, Helen trailing with a notepad. Over coffee in the parlor, the clock's chimes filling the silence, he demanded it. Elias, I need the clock for my shop. It's a draw worth $50,000. You're 87. Let it go. I shook my head. The clock's memories, Martha's polishing, family dinners, too sacred. I said, it's family, Walter, not profit. He grew cold. Give it to me or I'm done. I'll tell everyone you're selfish. Helen nodded. Sarah on speakerphone stayed silent, her silence cutting deep. I felt discarded, like a broken gear. That night I paced under Martha's quilt, her photo watching, hurt burning. Walter saw cash, not legacy, and it broke me. Sleep fled. I sat by the clock at dawn, its chime steady, memory swirling, Walter's boyhood awe, Martha's laughter. I called Mr. Hargrove, my lawyer since '82, his office a maze of books and pipe smoke. Elias, what's wrong? I explained Walter's ultimatum. He confirmed, you can gift the clock. I thought of Pastor Emily, 45, who runs Willowbrook's church, a community hub. She'd admired the clock, shared its stories with kids. I decided to hide it in the church's vestry, a gift for the town. With Timmy's help, I moved it at night, its weight heavy, but my resolve firm. Hargrove drafted a letter of intent. I signed, heart torn, but sure. I called a meeting in my parlor, the clock's absence stark, a curtain hiding its empty corner. Walter, Helen, Sarah, and Peter arrived expecting a handover. I revealed, the clock's in the church for Willowbrook. Walter gasped, you hid it? It was mine. Sarah protested, Elias, why? Helen stammered. I explained, you wanted profit, Walter. The town wants legacy. Walter raged, you're crazy, and stormed out. Pastor Emily present thanked me, promising a display for Martha. The parlor grew quiet, the mantel bare, my heart heavy, but resolute. Days later, Walter called, sobbing, Elias, I'm sorry. My business is failing. I was desperate. I invited him to Willowbrook. At the church, the clock displayed for a town event, we talked. Walter admitted greed. Helen confessed her silence. I offered a role, help maintain the clock, teach kids its history. By November, Walter's leading tours, Peter's polishing it, Sarah's proud. The clock chimes for the community, Martha's legacy alive. We're family again, stronger for it. Legacy isn't possession, it's sharing. Walter learned, and I forgave. At 87, I know time's short, but the clock's future shines. I record these tales for you, urging you to cherish roots over riches. Subscribe, folks, for more.